What's going on, everybody? We have the final day of the week is Thursday, October 19th, going to be Friday tomorrow. I did not do my analysis yesterday. I was in the middle of a move, so I just didn't get any time. I wasn't going to rush to get onto it. And I didn't even look at the charts. But what's funny is this morning, which I didn't even get up for New York session, I got up a little bit later. I slept in. And when I got onto my phone, which it was around 11:45 Central Standard Time, so 12:45 Eastern, I saw that General Powell, or not General, I keep saying General, but Powell, Chairman Powell spoke and for FOMC, and pretty much, or not FOMC, but just said General Powell. I said, there I go, saying it again, Chairman Powell. Uh, Obviously that affects the USD news, so I went in, I looked at it, and I was like, damn, there's a lot of movement. And I looked at everything. I saw this was going on, right? So it was in the middle of this push up. I saw this push up and I saw it come down and I was like, And I saw what the basis was that the inflation rates increased and it was not good for the dollar. Therefore, anything DXY has to go down, right? So that means anything like USD wise that says Euro USD, GBP USD, right? Secondary currency. That means it's got to go up. So I saw that it was coming down here, and I'm like, instinctually, a retail trader would see that push up, and they would have gotten in for a buy, and then got stopped down. And they're like, "Oh no, it's going to be a sell." I'm like, no, that's not what this happened. So what ended up happening was I decided to do a quick buy on EU and NU. I don't have NU up, and I took them in for 2%. So needless to say, it worked out. 1 second. It did work out. Everything was great, and we made some money today. Good. Go. Sorry, I was letting the cat out. Okay. So it went great. For especially having not done any analysis, I just decided to look at that and see how it go, and it worked out pretty good. So we're gonna see what the base pairs are looking at for tonight, because we do have some. If we're going over to the calendar, you guys won't be able to see this. We have GBP news at 1 a.m. Central. We have CAD news at 7:30 Central. So I'm very curious to see exactly what's going to happen. And I will be up early for New York session tomorrow. So I'm going to be checking it out, paying attention to the news. And if I see something that I like, I might get in on one of the CAD pairs. See how it goes. I've been trading news recently. And it's been pretty good. It's been pretty interesting, actually. I wouldn't say it's good on a prop firm, but if the prop firm allows you to trade news, then you can obviously make some money. I usually wait for news to settle about 10 minutes after, 5-10 minutes, and it makes a pretty good move. This one today, I caught 45 minutes late, and within 10 minutes, not even, did 2%. So we're going to take a look at what we're doing today, which today we have only a few peaks. Like I said, I'll go over the base pairs, but I'll go over the peaks that are on here for the time being. The first one being, what the heck? Sorry, hold on. All right. So we're gonna take a look at Euro AUD. Well, I'm looking at it right now on my screen, and seems like it's got a little bit of room. It's going to retest something. Let's take a look. 1 second. So let's take a look at Euro AUD. Euro AUD. We're going to deem whether or not this is something I want to pay attention to. So it's an AUD pair, and it's making its move already, right? So it's already making some sort of leeway. It's totally an uptrend. You got higher highs happening here and higher lows on the 4 hours. So that's clearly an uptrend. And it's making its way towards this supply zone. There's a 4 hour supply zone. There's a 1 hour supply zone that's from here, which is the one I was actually paying attention to. It seems like it's going to smack right through it and kind of push towards it. I mean, this might be a pair that might be too late, the daily. So I'm not sure. I think that this pair is already pushed up. I don't want to be trading it for a continuation because Um, I mean, I could be wrong. This thing could actually, make its move and just keep going straight, but it's at a point where I feel like the move already happened. It already broke this structure to the top here, and we could have got a better position if we were actually watching this pair. But I don't look during Asian session anymore. These are all just in. I think this might be an inducement to come back down. If we do see something, this is what we could potentially see. But definitely looking for buys. It's push up, hits the 4 hour supply zone, which I'll show you after I draw this up on the 1 hour, and we might see it, reverse for continuation back up. Because mind you, it is Friday, so there is going to be, and there is news, but we just got to see um, what we're going to be doing. I mean, what's today? So this is Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Sunday, Monday. Um, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. From that top to this top. I'm drawing the first 8 hours of the session. Okay, so as you can see, it worked this line, right? Because it was based off of this day, the 15th, which was Monday. So it came down past the psychological level, did a intraday W, which this might be a divergent W on the 1 hour, and it is in a way. It came down through a W formation for the low of the week, and then worked its way back through the psychological level. And look where it bounced off. It came through it, bounced off that psychological resistance or support, and now it's working its way back up. And that's where it's going to finish the week. So we're looking to see how much farther it's going to go. It might shoot up, hit that supply zone, and then just kind of consolidate out and get ready for next week. Right? So this might be something that we just need to wait on. I personally think it's just going to go up here and then stop, but I've been wrong. So let's just see. But we're definitely bullish on EA. You don't really need to take anything else. You don't want to be taking any sells for this. So here, I'm curious to see what happened on this. So we got Euro AUD. But all signs show bullish continuation. Going up to test the 4 hour supply zone. Then may consolidate to end the week. Okay. Let's go to the next one. AUDCHF. And this one's been tanking. I've been saying this one's going to drop for a minute. So this happened last night. Did I draw out what it was that I was supposed to be looking at? Let me see. All right, let's go to this part. AUDCHF. I did not write it down. I had chief pairs bearish though for that night, so there's that. So yeah, we're gonna keep going for your AUD, and now we're on AUDCHF. This one is the same thing. Let me close this out. Got the 4 hour. Why is this closing? Broke the structure. This is the continuation, guys. This is not going to stop. Um, let's see if there's any higher time frame structure that it needs to hit. Nothing popping up there. This is definitely hitting something right here. This whole area where it's at right now is one massive demand zone. So this is going to be the same thing. I mean, we're going to see it hit a low, and we have a potential for this thing to continue. I think it's going to come back down and test these lows over here. So we have some sort of, area of interest when it comes to how much farther this thing going to drop, because there's no sign of this thing stopping. That engulfing candle was pretty solid, that break. So I mean, the most we might see is a pullback, but this is going to continue down to the monthly range, the monthly low right over here. And if I look back far enough, I'm pretty sure if I just line it up with the bottom of this wick right here, it'll meet the monthly range. So, well, a little bit lower, but you're still looking for sells on this. If anything, you're looking for a pullback, right? Because this 4 hour, it's just still forming. So if this forms a bearish candle within the next 25 minutes, then this FEG just got stronger, this imbalance that it's going to leave. And that's going to leave room for this to pull back upwards this way, hit this supply, most likely we'll hit these supplies, and then we'll see it drop back down, right? So that's what we're going to be looking for, and it matches with, resistance. So let's see what it ends up doing, but for sure, we are only looking for sells, right? So stop hunts high, looking for sells, unless you get a break of this structure. If you get a break, well, it's not there, but if you get a break of these candlesticks to the upside, boom, broke. Then you're looking for a continuation. Maybe not directly off there, but pull back down and then up, right? So you got to look for that. That's the only time you would look for a buy. And since it's not doing that, we're still in a sell. So we're going to put on here AUDCHF, stay looking for sells. Needs to pull back into the FEG zone and match up with 1 hour supply. Only look for buys if recent structure has been broken. Okay. Broken. Let's go to the next one. Now I'm just going to kind of fly through these because some of them I'm not paying attention to. So you have the USDCAD, but some I'm not really caring for this one right now, even though it's got news tomorrow. I haven't really been favoring USDCAD. I favored the other pairs more, EURAUD and them. Let me see what's going here. Do I have it up already? I think I did. That's USDCHF. Here is USDCAD. Okay, cool. Oh, but that's got the other thing on it. So we're going to do USDCAD. You know how many times I've seen a drop like this where it goes boop, and then everyone thinks it's pulling back, and then it continues up. It just, oh, it's pulling back, but and then it's going to drop again, but it doesn't, and it just continues. That's happened to me a lot. So I'm not going to assume that this thing's going to drop just off of that. Let's take a look. Why is this so laggy? I gotta update my computer. No sign that this thing wants to reverse. 4 hour closes in. That's the daily. I'm sorry. Closed in 20 hours. I'm going back to the 4 hour. 4 hour closes in 22 minutes. No signs of reversal. No divergence. No solid shark fin area for that divergence. I mean, you have this one, but that's not, a crazy shark fin. That's just more so just like a gradual reversal. So, and what I'm seeing with this is that this is going to just continue. We have some trend lines that could be drawn up from here to here. We don't need these anymore, so we can get rid of that. This one has maintained, so we can keep this one. And then we have a channel that's not broke, right? So we have a couple areas. We just got to see which one it wants to respect, because at the moment it's temporarily bullish while also simultaneously bearish. It's bullish because it broke recent structures. It's bearish because it hasn't taken out this high. And I don't like taking trades that are in the middle, especially when it's like towards the high on an uptrend. That means that this thing could get ready for one more push up and then a drop, right? And then bounce off of there, or break, bounce off, retest, and drop. So it's not my favorite setup for that. I'm going to leave this alone, and I'll come back to see where it's at during New York session tomorrow morning. But at the moment, I just don't like the way it's set up. Now, if we see something drop tonight, like for Asian session, that might give me some clear understanding of what to expect during New York. Because if it drops hard tonight, that's great, because then I can look for buys for New York. But maybe um, it goes up, consolidates, continues up, hits that high, breaks it a little bit, and then reverses. I might be able to catch that sell back down to there, right? So it's just a matter of how it, how it sets itself up, because it's still too early to tell. But if you're looking at simple trend, it's an uptrend. It's an uptrend. So you want to be looking for buys, but I'm not going to be writing it down. So I'm going to put on, keep an eye on USDCAD, just so that you guys are fully aware that this is a pair that can play out. I'll keep my eyes on that. Now let's go to, do I want to do this pair? If it loads, hold on, I gotta refresh my charts. Oh, that doesn't work anymore. Oh, there it is. Okay. So US 30 is the next one. We're gonna take a look at this one, because this one actually looks pretty good. So we got US 30. Break of structure, M formation. Let's see the start of the week. Mind you, this works on every time frame. The first 4 hours, psychological zone. So we're gonna show you guys what I'm talking about. We got Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. First 8 hours. I need to get a little bit cleaner. Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. First 8 hours. 1, 2. Look at that. Worked the high of the week for 3 days. You got 1, 2 days. Stop hunt over supply zone, and then tank back down. Retest of the break of structure. This is a clear head and shoulders. Left shoulder's head, right shoulder drop, pull back, entry. This was a nice play. And during the news this morning, this is exactly how it worked out. So this was 11. The news was at, was it at, yeah, it was at 11 my time. So then this happened, and then boom, it tanked out. So that's good. This is good. Now, structurally, this makes most sense for a continuation. It pulled back to the EMAs. That's great. And it didn't consolidate because we have that break, unless it decides to go up and start doing some fuck shit. But it doesn't look like it's going to do that with that much momentum. The most we'll see is a pullback, retest, and then a drop. So I'm going to say we're going to keep looking for a drop on the US 30. Let's see, the 12, just based off of what I've seen so far. What is this? Why is it drawn so weird? I do not know. I have some structures on here that I don't even remember drawing like this. I would have never drew it like this. All right, now that makes more sense. We go down to the 4 hour. That makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So that's hit. Kind of hit there. It's close. It's close enough. So now we know that this thing wants to drop back down to at least here, right? Because this is a clear downtrend. Look at all the structure it broke. I'll go back to the daily real quick. Just I tend to go back and forth. Retested that the 50 EMA, which is great. Retested the 200, which is great. I think it's going to work its way down. Once we see it drop a little bit more, it's going to want to actually continue down to this demand zone. Um, so ultimately, you're just going to look for a pullback up and then a continuation drop. That's the simplicity of it at the moment. That's from what I'm seeing. So you want to see some sort of move up, maybe retest the supply area, and then we'll see a drop, right? So let me see if I can find a supply zone that matches what we're looking for. On the 1 hour, we don't really see anything. There's nothing right here, but I guarantee if you go to the 15-minute, we'll see something. So we got one here. If we go to the 5-minute, there might be something up there. You got 5-minute. This one looks good. And they're on every time frame, guys. So you can find these pretty fast. If anything, I'd wait for it to pull up to around here, and then we can look, for that sell. But ultimately, this is going to be a continuation. So we're going to stick to US 30 being on the continuation side. Look for a pullback towards the 5-minute supply zone and a continuation down. Pretty simple. What did I click? Okay. The next one on here is, why are these things not loading right now? Sorry, guys. This thing is being really laggy for some reason. Here we go. USD. Did it finally break down? This can't be right. Hold on. I gotta see something. This is being really weird. It's not even giving me the right charts. What the heck is going on? So what I'm seeing on here is way different from what the dashboard's showing me. This is not right. This dashboard's lagging. Go to a different chart. Let's see what happens. Okay, now it's right. Now it's correct. It's just weird. Yeah, I'm not touching USDJPY. I mean, just look at it. Do you really want to get caught up in all that? Like, really? No. So we're gonna do ourselves a favor and just not touch this pair. All right, so don't touch it. Next one is S&P 500. This one looks exactly the same as US 30. So we're going to take a look at it here. Notice we have similar structure, W formation pushed up, hit the nail on the 4-hour, do an M formation, broke the structure, and now it's working its way back down. Now it's inside of a 4-hour supplies demand zone. My apologies. So we are ultimately going to want to see it keep dropping. I think that's a big one. And I think if we go to the lower time frames, we're going to see more precise ones. So there you go. So you got a precise one here, which makes sense. And if we do what we did on the US 30, we could probably find something. Pullback. Why? Here is like makes sense for pullback. That's what I was talking about. Pullback to there. And you got a 5-minute. This one looks really good. So it's essentially the same thing. Continuation down, retest the trend line. I would want to see it pull back and ultimately give me some sort of imbalance, right? If it gives me the imbalance where it's at now, either way, this is going to pull back. Here's an imbalance from here to here. Watch if I draw it up onto this. Boom. From there to there, 1 hour full imbalance. You get the daily imbalance. Oh, there's a daily one. Look at that. 1, 2. So it's got time. It's got time to fill it in. So we're going to look for a swoop and drop. Pretty simple. So, and that's going to bring us up to the 50. I would love to see some hidden divergence where it comes up, hits the 50 EMA again, and then drops, giving us a hidden divergence for so, right? So S&P 500 is literally going to be the same thing as the US 30. So S&P, S&P. Boom. Don't really like EURAUD. Bitcoin. Nope, not doing Bitcoin. It's still got to consolidate. I'll show you real quick because I know some of you watch Bitcoin. It hasn't done the pullback yet. Right? It's setting up. It's got equal highs here. So eventually this is going to break. Whenever you see price hitting a same general area, not exactly. A lot of people try to be so precise with it. They think, oh, look, see that high? It didn't touch this one. So therefore, it's not an equal high. That's false. Equal highs are drawn up by zones. This is what institutions look for. They look for zones of liquidity, not specific points. So if you see price somewhat near, just by eyeing it up, what looks to be equal, that's equal highs. That's liquidity. They have trapped up there. So eventually they are going to break it. Now, is it going to drop down first to break the structures here and then pull back and drop again and then go up and break these areas? Or is it going to just consolidate, range, gather contracts, and then shoot up? Both are very plausible, but personally, what I think is happening right now is I think we're seeing this. I think we're going to see collect contracts and just break. That's just me though. So, but the point is, you're waiting. You're not getting in on this yet because we want to see what happens. You're not buying it here. I think you're going to wait for it to drop again. It can break here though. We are seeing a bullish triangle, so it's just a matter of how it ends up closing. But I wouldn't touch this yet, so we're going to leave it be. I'll know more tomorrow, specifically that what's going to happen because this is this pair will move on the weekend. So I mean, if you wanted to trade, you could still trade on the weekends. I said this GCAD one, not touching GBPCAD. That can't be right. Yeah, I'm not touching GCAD. This algorithm's it's messed up. Euro USD. Okay, so I will always do those pairs. Not okay. I correct myself. Not always, but I do prefer these pairs mainly because they move during the New York session, right? That's why I primarily like them. They did throw up the highs. They got people trapped. This is right. What time was this? 11, 10. Oh yeah. I got into the buy over here. Okay, so it all happened. I got him right here. 11:45. Bought it, took profit, got out. Um, now that they got people trapped up here, they're gonna want to go away from this, right? And I have the 4 hour zone drawn up too. So you got the 4 hour. Is it touching the 4 hour? Yeah, look at that. You can't here, let me do this so you can see it. Look, it's touching the 12 hour resistance zone. So it almost touched the supply, but didn't do that. So we're gonna see where it's at here. It's just consolidating on a wedge. Oh, look at this. Okay. So this might shed some light on things. It's actually why I took the trade yesterday. And how I profited was because of what I'm drawing up right now. So you guys are seeing a wedge pattern form. And all this means is that consolidate, and it's going to break down to retest these lows. Drawn horribly, but it's going to retest these lows. Still drawn horribly. You get it right there. It's going to go that way. Because that's just how wedges work. It's exactly how this one played out. Draw it out for you. I took a picture of it in the Discord. And I gave you guys the cheat sheet for it. Look, you have wedge going up, trapped here. You could have drew it this way. You could have drew it this way. Regardless, it's a wedge. And what does it do? It broke up, hit the zone right here. I drew it up, immediately turned. I got in on my sells right there during New York session. Took it all the way to the low that was matched up right here. Got in for a 1 to 3. Easy money, right? So just remember this pair though. Remember not the pair, but like the setup, right? See how it's a bullish direction and it shot up and it hit this high, then reversed. Now let's go back. Let's go into the 12 hour. Look at what's happening. Bearishness, bullishness, zone. It's going to break out and work its way back and either hit and take off the other way for a daily W formation, or it's going to break and continue. Regardless, this has to happen. So I think it's going to continue, though. I don't think it's going to be. It did pull back to retest it. So you had that structure right here. Boom. Lined up perfectly with it. Wicked it. Dropped. I think we're just going to see this thing continue, to be honest. It's got this support zone right here. It's forming a bearish. It's forming a supply right now. It's in the middle, for sure. Although this is my favorite pair, I am going to watch it. And if I do see a setup, I will trade this. I will always trade Euro USD because Euro USD is really easy to read. So I'm curious to see what happens if it's going to come down here towards London session, and then we look for buys. Because even though, and would you look at this? Look at that supply zone. Look where it went to. Bounced right off of it and then came right back down. So those zones are they're pretty powerful. I guess I'm just gonna wait and see. I don't want to put a direction on this. But I personally will be looking at this pair tomorrow morning just because I love this pair. So yeah, we'll move on. Let me see if there's anything else. I'll go over GU. GU has a peak formation high that it's been maintaining supposedly. So, and I've been the same bias on this one. Look at this. This happened 2 days ago. Dropped down, right? All yesterday. I was saying it's going to keep going. It's not even going to stop on high, but this was going to keep dropping. It broke it, came up, reversed, hit the supply zone. Now we just need to know whether or not if it's going to continue or if it's going to reverse. And based on what I saw with EU, I think we're going to see it continue, right? Because I actually have the 4 hour, the psychological zones. It's been working it all week right here. Up, back down into it, didn't break it up, back down into it, didn't break it up, broke it, came back, retested in it. I think we're going to see it drop. And I think it's going to drop down to the low. And this one has more clarity than EU. EU is stuck in a range. It's stuck in a wedge, a bearish triangle, in my belief. And I can actually make this more aligned with this. I think it's going to come back and retest that psychological zone. It's going to go boom. So very curious, very, very curious indeed. But GU, I think we're going to see continued drop. So I'm going to put GU. Try to give you a solid explanation. Broke beneath the psychological, I can't even spell logical. My mind is not operating. It broke beneath the psychological support zone and came back to retest it. So far, all I'm seeing are signs for low from October 4th. October 4th. All right. There's not really a lot going on other than I think we're going to see some good moves from the S&P. I'm going to be paying attention to the S&P, the euro, GBPUSD. I think EA has already made its move, and then I'll of course be paying attention to USDCAD. I just got to see how this one plays out and how we're gonna move forward. So, with that being said, everybody have a great weekend, and let's continue to keep killing it. Peace.